What's up, guys? Wolverine Kid here, coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? As always, I'm back again with the comic reviews. As you probably realize that Mr. Orpheus did not introduce me this time around. The reason why he didn't introduce me, guys, is he's taken a little incident a little hard. I think we all should, especially if you're fans of the show known as Doctor Who. He's taken it very hard after the last episode that came on. So he said to me, Chris, I need some time to get myself together again. That episode really bothered me. So I was like, take your time. So yeah, no, Mr. Orpheus is not here. But as promised, like I said, this is going to be another extra-sized review because I didn't review last week's books. And I told you guys I was going to be late with that. So I just said, you know what the hell? Let me just review everything now. So we're going to kick off with last week's books. And then we'll go into this week's books as well. Alright, so we'll kick it off. We're going to kick it from last week's books. We'll start off with Captain Marvel, number 4. That is a bitchin' cover. I love that cover of Carol looking just cool and rugged and like, just bring it on. Come bring it. This issue was really good. DeConnick still does a very good job telling a story. She pretty much seems to have wrapped up the time traveling story arc that was going on, which was fine. Carol is still portrayed very well in this book. The other female soldiers, which we find out are not really soldiers at all, but they look to Carol pretty much, and they just watch her in action, and it was just really good. I really enjoyed it, and once again, like I said, if you're not a fan of Carol Danvers or Captain Marvel, you should be, and you should support her, because yeah, if anything, this is the closest character in Marvel to should get the Wonder Woman effect. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can carry her own book and can live up and can hang with the big boys. Yeah. Okay, so moving on, we go to Gambit number 3. Jay Masmus, once again, does a very good job telling the story of what the hell is in Gambit. If last issue, some kind of techno-like or object latched into Gambit, and he's been trying everything to get it out. So now he's traveled with another fellow thief that we don't know her name, but she's willing to help him get this artifact out of him. So they go to the jungles of Guatemala and go into these ruins that could be where this artifact originated from. Man's artwork is very good, and once again, Mr. Admus is still doing a very good job in showcasing, Gambit doing what he does best, besides just being an X-Men, but just showing that, he still got it as a, top thief in a way. And that is a nice cover too, as you can see right there. Very nice cover. And don't mind the noise if you hear it. That's my cousin. He's playing San Andreas GTA. Yeah, guys, I still have my PlayStation 2. So we move on to the last issue of Roka's Punisher run. This is the last issue of Punisher, but he's gonna wrap it up in the miniseries called Punisher Warzone. Which I will be getting. But besides that, I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Roca and tell him, you know what, you did a great job with Frank. Very good job. I was very impressed. I know there was some situations at Marvel that screwed you over and things like that. I understand that. You want to get into independent stuff? That's great. Go ahead, do your thing. But I just want to let you know, sir, that I give you a lot of props for what you did with the Punisher. And with saying that, this issue wraps up pretty good because, first of all, Punisher and Rachel Coles, they were set up, and pretty much it's basically like it was said, Punisher versus NYPD. There's a manhunt out for the Punisher and Rachel kills somebody, and she killed the cop, and she's thinking about it, like, oh, I can't believe I did this and everything like that. And Frank is telling you, move on, get off, it happens. But there's the cop that was with this throughout the whole series, Ozzie Clemson. He goes on to say, like, look, this is not Punisher's MO. He doesn't kill people, innocent people like that. And it gets really good because the ending is something I don't want to spoil, but it was unlike Frank in a way, because it was like, wow, like Frank does have a heart, But this is the end of Frank. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes with this war zone, and just like to say once again, Mr. Roca, salute you. Very good job. Move on to Secret Avengers number 31. Rick Remender, still telling a pretty good story with the Shadow Council, and it seems that the Council has pretty much dealt the Avengers a dying hand, pretty much. As you can see, Max Fury on the cover with this like serpent-like helmet on him, as you can see. He's taking control of it, and it's really up to Flash and Widow and people like that to help, because a lot of the other Avengers have been taken out. One of my favorite scenes is watching Flash take on Vengeance. You see right here in the corner. That was really cool. But it ends on a cliffhanger, which I don't want to spoil. I don't like spoiling too much, but it was kind of funny because Flash, Eric O'Grady, Ant-Man, has been talking to Flash about how him and Valkyrie are kind of getting, a little close to each other, and we kind of see that, well, not in this issue, but we see something at the end that might affect that. Alright. Alright, moving on to Winter Soldier number 11. Brubaker. This is part 2, I believe, of the Black Widow hunt. As you all know, Widow is under control by one of the sleeper agents that Bucky trained, and he's using her just to piss Bucky off, and Bucky calls in a few favors from other Avengers, like, Hawkeye, Wolverine, people like that, to help out, because they all have ties to Black Widow. They all care about her in their own way. It gets really, really dire for Bucky. You just really feel for Bucky in this issue. He's trying so hard to wrap this up very carefully, because if not, it's going to be almost classified as an international incident, because Widow is a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and she killed the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She killed a couple of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. And it's sad to see, Bucky go through this kind of situation, and you just want to see Bucky get his hands on Novakovic and just put the sleeper hold on him sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this was still good, very intense, very intense indeed. Alright, we move on to my mentor, Blue Goblin. He talked about this last time, and I have to admit, this was just funny as hell. This book, Wolverine the X-Men number 17, Jason Aaron's. This issue was all about what Dupe does. What is his purpose at the school? And boy, do we ever see what his purpose is. Oh my God. It was just so funny to see this little green like creature just do all this work and do things that you would not expect or knew. And then I remember it was funny because they all say, all he does is sleep. And then we get to see in this book why he's just always knocked out like and sleep and stuff like that. One of my favorite scenes is with him and Warbird. That was so funny. And just the last part, the last issue where you see last panel where you see Wolverine saying, you know, keep doing your job, good job, and things like that. You know, it just, I know this book's been out for a week already, but still, it's something I don't want to spoil. But yeah, this was this was just so funny to read. It was just a fun read. I really enjoyed it very much. I can understand why people was just laughing. Aaron's does a good job. He's been doing a good job for the past 16 issues. Not including that one. But yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, it was fun. Next up. XMen Legacy number 274. Christoph Gage brings us a tale of another meeting between Rogue and Magneto. Now, somebody may ask, you know, how do you feel about them being together? You know, I never really looked at Magneto and Rogue being a couple, in a sense. I know in the Age of Apocalypse universe they're married and everything like that, but I never really thought it, you know, but Magneto truly loves her and, you know, things like that. But this is a ascension of kind of Rogue trying to help out. Magneto comes, he needs to talk to her, and everything flows from there. You know, Magneto goes on to say, like, he wants to be with her and everything like that, you know. And Rogue is really more in the sense of, like, you know, look, I have to find, almost like I have to find my own destiny, you know, but we could still be, almost like, she's not really dumping him, but it's more like, you know, don't be a stranger, in a sense. Magneto does some things in here that kind of reminded of the old Magneto in a sense, but, yeah, it was fine. Just one more issue before this series ends. Yeah. Will I be getting the XMen Legacy in the Marvel now? No, I won't. I wasn't a real big fan of Legions. I've never really been a big fan of Legions, actually, so, yeah. If you ask me what X-Men related books are we getting in them, you know, I'll tell you. Alright, so we move on to Independent. Got 2 from Dynamite for last week and 2 from IDW for last week. So we'll kick it off with the Bionic Man number 13. This is part 2 of the story of Sasquatch. Yeah. We get some interesting take on this. Basically, we find out, in the last issue, we found out Steve Austin he was attacked by Bigfoot. You know, and we find out there's more to Bigfoot than meets the eye. He actually was not all organic. And he left Steve armless. He goes back to OSI, they fix his arm, everything like that, and he starts telling them about what they meant. They meet up again, and they have another duke out, but this time around, Steve is able to talk to Sasquatch in his language, in a sense, and we find out why Sasquatch has been doing this thing. And then it gets even more dire when we find out Steve gets it gets really intense. But this has just been a fun book to me. Once again, you know, another classic hero told for the next generation. But yeah, it's been really good. That is an awesome cover by Alex Ross, as always. Bionic Man, number 13. Alright. So we move from the Bionic Man to another pulp character when we're talking about the Spider, number 5. Yeah, I will be sending more issues to my boys, to my mentor, and to another friend of mine. But I like to send them in bulk. I don't send them in just one out of. But this is the end of the first story arc of the book. David List does a good job. Colton Worley, artwork in this is superb. I love his artwork in this book. So this is the final confrontation, in a sense, between Annaput and the Spider, and her trying to figure out, Spider trying to figure out, to end her bio, gas that turns people into zombies. This was just fun and gritty and dark, and when Spider comes in confrontation with Annaput, they duke it out. Annaput is just on the Spider's level, and Spider has to come up with some new tricks to beat her. Yes, and I'm talking about, this is a female. This is not a male. And it ends with Annaput, which I don't want to spoil. Spider just is like, you know what? I can't even spoil that for you. But all you need to know, this was a good read. I can't wait to the next issue. This has just been really fun, and to my 2 friends that I got this for, I am so glad that you guys like this. The Spider. Alright. So we move from Dynamite to IDW, and we'll kick it off with Ninja Turtles, number 14. Oh man, look at that cover. Splinter on the cover, right? Alright, so this issue picks up right where issue 13 left off, where Splinter looks like he's going to kill Casey Jones's dad. Well, we kind of get some reason why he's doing this. He's trying to teach Raphael a lesson about going in half-cocked. Of course, we all know Raphael has that anger issue. He's got that temper. When he saw what happened to his friend Casey Jones, Casey Jones gets nearly beaten to death by his father. Like, he's got bruises all over him. When he gets drunk, he said it, when my dad gets drunk, he likes to hit on me. But, Splinter tells Raphael everything about it. He even goes into detail, tells a little story. But that's pretty much what this issue focuses on. And then it also goes later on into the end. Basically, Splinter tells Raphael afterwards, go grab Casey's stuff. He's going to be staying with us now. I'm going to spoil that for you guys. He goes on to tell Raphael, grab Casey's belongings. And when they go back to where they are, he tells Casey, you're going to be staying with us now. Your family. He tells that to him and April. Which was fine. A very subtle issue, very good to me. Not a lot of action, just good dialogue. And you really felt for Splinter. He's trying to teach his son a lesson. And then, of course, there's something to do with Krang. And we also get to see the neutrinos. We also get to see the building of a certain giant dome tank that we should all know being built. And we also see that Shredder has taken an interest in Leonardo, and spoiler alert, if you don't want to be spoiled, he has chosen Leonardo as his successor to the Foot Clan. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, moving on. Chuck Dixon in Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. This is issue number 17. it seems that the Cobra has waged war on the Roshikage, and led by Superior, he's trying to take out all the masters of the Roshikage, the soft master, the hard master, people like that. And you got to remember, the Snake Eyes he's not back with the Roshikage. He's trying to take them down from the inside. G.I. Joe thinks he's dead, but now they're starting to think that maybe not. He's alive, in a sense. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Little synopsis. It's a war between the Roshikage and the rest of Cobra. Alright. So we move on to the last zero issues that I picked up. And I bet some of you are wondering, like, what did I think of the last issues that I picked up? Alright, so we'll kick it off with none other than Aquaman #0. Jeff Johns, Ivan Reyes, of course. Artwork is great. This tells the story of, Arthur before his dad died, and he gets the notion that he's the successor to the throne. He learns a little bit more about his mother. He's on the search for his mom. He's looking for his mom to tell what his Arthur's dad on his dying bed gave him a few words to find your mother and tell her that I love her. That's what he went to do. And that's pretty much the whole gist of it. There was one scene that I really liked where Arthur was swimming through the water and this big great white shark came and it looked like he was about to eat him, and Arthur used his telepathy to tell him to go away. It was beautifully done. Ivan Reyes' artwork was beautifully done. I mean, this shark just came out of the dark deeps, and he meets an advisor of his mother that tells him everything, and they go to Atlantis. Pretty cool, but it was fun. Not bad. Very good. All right. So, Batman: The Dark Knight, #0. This is Greg Hurwitz and Miko Soyan. I hope I'm saying it right. The bottom line of this basically is the whole gist of this issue is basically Bruce trying to figure out why Joe Chill killed his parents. He's going through all this complication, like there had to have been a purpose. Why did he kill her? What, yada yada yada. Everything. Like somebody might set him up. His father may have enemies, and Joe Chill just comes out and says it, and it's just like it was just like a letdown for Bruce. He's like, that's it. Like, oh, come on. But it was fine. This was fine. It's just that, with the Batmans, it's like, what can you really do in trying to tell an origin story? We know his origin, but, other than that, it was fine. You just really felt for Bruce in this issue, very much. Alright. And talk about feeling for a character, The Flash, #0, Francis Manapul. Once again, I said it before, I tweeted this guy a couple of times and told him, just keep up the goddamn good work. I literally said that to him. We get the origin of Flash. Pretty much nothing's really changed too much, but we also get a little in-depth of his mom and what happened to his mom and his dad and things like that, and it gets really, you see Barry really trying hard to use forensic to find, the evidence, the skills that he learned to pretty much help his father, in a sense. It was just brilliantly done, in my opinion. Very good indeed. Flash #0. You guys tell me what you thought about that. Alright. And then here's Red Lantern #0. Peter Milligan is back with Abaddon Syaf. Sayaf. I hope I'm saying the name right. This tells the story of how Atrocitus became what he is, became the first Red Lantern. Dark, gritty stuff in this book, guys. Don't want to really spoil too much. You just feel you kind of look at Atrocitus in this book as almost like a tragic character. You see him, his family, his whole planet pretty much die by the Manhunters, and then it gets into there. It just really gets gritty, and just every panel, I was just like, man, like, oh God, you know. And you see the formation of the lantern and everything like that. Very good stuff. Very good indeed. Alright. So, as anybody probably know, we've seen the third wave of the DC books that are coming out. And there's really only one of them that really, well, two of them actually did, but one of them I can't because it's person that's writing it. But I picked up Talon, issue 0. Scott Snyder and James. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Like I said, Scott Snyder and James Tynion the Fourth co-plot this, but James Tynion writes it, and we really get to see what Calvin Rose is, the Talon. This is another book you really feel for. You know, he at the age of 8, he was thrown. It's either 8 or 6. His father threw him in a dog kennel. And right there, you're like, what the fuck? Like, are you sick? What the hell? And he escapes from there. He's a very good escape artist. He runs away. He joins Haley's circus. He becomes a escape artist. At the age of 12 or so, he was able to. He found like 6 ways of escaping from a straitjacket. And then, of course, the Court of the Owls saw him, and they turned him into one of their talons. And he did everything that they wanted to. Until, well, let's just say there was something that the Talons wanted, that the Owls wanted him to do. He didn't obey it. The Court of Owls felt there was a bloodline that they wanted wiped out. And they sent them on a mission. He infiltrated this apartment building where the last of the bloodline was, or something like that. He peeped in, he saw the woman, and he saw her playing with a little girl. And right there it was like, he can't do that. He realized that the Court of Owls are bastards. You know, what gives them the right to tell who I should kill and everything like that? So he took them and escaped with them. And after that, you know, that's pretty much how the story goes. But yeah, it was really good. You saw the different stages of emotion between Calvin Rose, and I really enjoyed that. You know, just watching, you know, him from a kid to a young adult to the man now, and showcasing that at first he was kind of okay with what the Court of Owls were doing, but now he's like, you know what, this is wrong. This is wrong. Why am I doing this? Why should I go around just taking orders, killing people for no particular reason? Sometimes, you know, just because of their bloodline. And in a sense, with that mission that I just talked about, was like the focus point right there. It was like, I can't do this. I can't do it. But he has no powers. He's just a very good escape artist, and you know, just what the Court of Owls did, trained him and everything like that. But yeah, very good stuff. the last Zero issue book I picked up, this make like some people might like blasphemy, Chris. Why'd you pick that up? Why'd you pick that up, kid? Well, yes, Teen Titans issue 0. Yes. This is the story of Tim's origin. All right. I'm gonna get probably a lot of heat from saying this, but I actually liked it. Don't hurt me. Yeah, no, seriously, I actually liked it. It told the story of Tim Drake. Tim, they keep pretty much almost everything intact, that he was looking for the identity of Batman. Batman's been watching him for a couple of times, a couple of days now, basically showcasing, he's had Batman even goes under skies, him and Alfred, and they watch him at his school and everything. Like, he's smart. He's a lot of things that Dick or Jason wasn't, but he says right now he won't, recruit another Robin. However, after Tim does encounter Batman, Bruce tells him, like, look, stop trying to look for me, stop doing this. I respect your knowledge and your skill and everything, but be a kid. Stop doing this. And this kind of fuels the fire even more with Tim now. And what he starts to do is he goes on like a Robin Hood-esque. He starts hacking rich people's bank accounts. One account, which he really shouldn't have hacked, in the form of Oswald Cobblepot. And in that sense, puts his family in danger. Bruce goes in, helps him out, but now his family has to go into witness protection. But Batman tells him that he promised his parents that he would take care of them. And that's where we get to see, the whole thing of Bruce saying, look, I promised your parents I would take care of you. If you want to do this, you follow my rules, my orders, everything like that. Partner. And then we go to the Batcave. And then that's where we see Alfred about to give him I believe Jason Todd's costume, or either just a Robin costume, and you see him made his own costume. And they turn around, they look, and they say, and Bruce says, not bad, Robin. And Tim says, Red Robin. Despite that look, I understand where he was trying to come from with why he said Red Robin, because of what happened to Jason. In a sense, you see a lot of that in this book, like, because that's why Tim actually declines Jason's costume. So in a sense, but it's still, to me, he's still the third Robin. He's still the third Robin. I don't care what that last panel said, Red Robin or not. He's still the third Robin. They kept pretty much his origin pretty much intact, which was still good. Just showing Tim just being the clever boy that he's always been. And it was fun. So yeah, I did enjoy it. I thought I was going to hate it, but I did enjoy it. Yeah. So those are all the books that came out for last week. Let's get to this week. Okay? And we got 3 Marvel, few DC, and 2 independent. So now that we are in the week of October, as I do, I always try to change the lineup. So we'll go independent, DC, and end with Marvel. So kicking it off with independent, we're kicking it back off with Dynamite. Bionic Woman, number 5. Paul Tobin. Boy, that is a badass cover. Look at Jamie Sommers. She looks so cool on that cover. Pretty much, bottom line, guys, Jamie takes the fight to the organization known as the Mission. She takes the fight directly to them, which is fine. It was really fun just seeing her take on everybody, and including some situations, some obstacles that came in her way. But it was all fun. We also get a sense of kind of why Jamie and Steve Austin aren't kind of lovey-dovey as they used to be, especially in Steve's book. After her accident and when she got her bionic parts, we find out that her memory just really kind of blanked out. She can't really remember the love that she had for Steve. Every time she sees him, that emotion, that very love and passion emotion is not there anymore. She was telling her friend that because she's like about that guy, Steve Austin. There seems to be, y'all seem to have something, and that's what she tells her. And that made it kind of interesting. Like, wow, okay, that's interesting. But it was fine. This was fun, very much. I can't wait to the next issue. It ends on a cliffhanger. But Bionic Woman and the Bionic Man have just been really doing well with Dynamite. And once again, like I said, nice cover of Jamie. Very good. Alright. So we move on to the Bionic Woman, to Voltron number 8. Ah, boy.
What is that?
Basically, guys, sorry about that. Basically, we're still dealing with the ramification of another Voltron robot. And the fact that Lotor he's not following in the footsteps of his father. And things like that. That's pretty much it. But all of a sudden, Lotor's planet is attacked by the rogue Voltron robot, and it's up to the Voltron force to figure out who's in it. In the next issue, we're going to find out who's behind it and everything like that. But still, the team really can't trust Lotor. They're thinking like father, like son. He's just playing us, everything like that. But yeah, this is still good. All right. Oh boy. So next up, Batwing number 13.
I didn't say anything.
Judd Winnick and Marcus Till's artwork is superb, and as I always say, under the spell of father loss. Yeah, we are introduced to seeing a new. This is a new villain for Batwing. He seems to have some sort of. He has a cult following, as well as he has like psychic abilities in a sense. And David is really like almost overwhelmed by certain things that Father Lost can do. It kind of comes off pretty creepy in a sense, but a very good start to this new story arc. But it's fine to me. It's very fine. All right, and we move on to Detective Comics number 13. This is the all-new creative team on this. John Layman and Jason Fabuk. The artwork in this is superb. I will say that right off the bat. Time of the Penguin is now. Yes, indeed. Penguin tries to push his reign up in Gotham very high. He's almost coming like now he wants to be looked at as the kingpin of Gotham City. And he hires assassins to try to kill Bruce Wayne, not Batman. And I don't want to spoil too much for you, but that's pretty much it. But a good start, another good start with the new creative team. I did enjoy this. Sorry about that. Next up, yeah, ooh, this was so good. I am really enjoying this. Earth 2, number 5. Look at that cover, badass cover. I believe you've seen that in my new opening. If you haven't, it's the Green Lantern versus the Death God Grundy. James Robinson. Perfect, very perfect. So it's pretty much it's almost like the team fighting now a common enemy in Grundy. Alan Scott is done great in this book. There's a good scene between Jay, the Atom, and Hawkgirl. We also get notions of the government has operatives that that are reminded of the Sandman, which is really cool. You see, they're called the Sandmen. That was fine. That was really cool because you're getting tidbits of old other JSA members, and the Sandman was a member of the JSA, but they're called Sandmen. They're able to like teleport. They got the president and the vice president out before Grundy's forces killed them. Alan and Grundy are just going at it. It's crazy. And in a sense, the Atom is still trying to bring in Hawkgirl. And Flash, like, he does his thing in this as well. We get to see Terry Sloan again. And we also get some tidbits as well. Terry Sloan goes on to tell this World Organization Army that we get a little tidbit that Red Tornado is not done in this book. And Captain Steel is on another mission. So once again, we're seeing like the other JSA members are here, and that was fine. But the fight between Grundy and Alan Scott was just superb. I loved it very much. And you're seeing the formation of the team, kinda. But I can't wait to see some more of my boy, Mr. Michael Holt, Mr. Terrific, which I'm hearing he's supposed to come back soon. But yeah, good stuff. Very good. All right. Green Arrow number 13. This ends the Arrow's trip to China after he's trying to get back some technology that he uses. It's called the Wolf Tech, that the tech that he uses in his gauntlets and everything, his goggles and everything like that. This was fine. It wasn't that bad. We just get to see that Ollie has to make a deal to get it back, as well as we get to see that Ollie may have a new ally. But it's really the ending that really gets us, where it seems like we're going to see kind of why Ollie and Hawkman are going to be on that new Justice League of America book, in a sense, at the end of this book. Alrighty then. Green Lantern number 13, Jeff Johns, Howard Mankey, Rise of the Third Army. Alright. Now, if you remember me talk about issue 0 of this, I did not really like it. In this book, it's not as that bad, in my opinion. But we kind of get a sense of all the trouble that Boz goes through. He's hurting his family as well. And we see that, especially with his sister. Like, she goes into, like, I guess her job, and they pretty much fire her because of him. And, the ring is, we see that the ring has two certain people inside of him. The president goes on to tell, in the beginning we see that Amanda Waller is talking to the president about the Green Lanterns, and they showcase Hal Jordan, all four, Kyle, John, and oh my God, how am I forgetting his name? Well, you know what I'm talking about. I can't believe that. And it was fine, but it's Boz that really takes the showcase, and it's not as bad as I wanted to believe. But we do see some more of the the Third Army coming about, but it's Boz who gets into some trouble with a certain group because they want some answers, and you should know what that group is, what I'm talking about. Alright. Still with me, guys? Alright, World's Finest Huntress Power Girl number 5. Let's just put it like this, guys. This was just another standalone issue showcasing that what the girls do, that they're not always together. When they're not together, what they're doing. And that's pretty much it. That's all this was. Nothing too fancy. It's just a standard standalone issue that was fine. That's it. Alright. So we end this on Marvel. 3 Marvel Street. And we'll kick it off with, of course, my boy, Amazing Spider-Man number 695. This is the story arc, next story arc between, the whole Hobgoblin stuff. We find out what the purpose of the scientist that was in Horizon that was under Kingpin. And he has used a device that's just really making Spider-Man's spider sense just go all showcase all the potential dangers, and you literally see it like all around him, and it's causing him like his spider sense is just going bonkers. Madam Web's abilities to see in the future is going bonkers. Of course, Roderick Kingsley is watching Phil Urich as Hobgoblin, just monitoring him, like he's just hunting him, just watching his prey. It's getting really bad, and to the point where at the end of that book, we see something that, it was like, oh, again, but still fun. Yes, indeed. Just hoping they don't do nothing stupid with his spider sense again, Because what's Spider-Man without his spider sense? Alright. And here we are. Round 12. Final issue of Avengers. Avengers vs. X-Men. Aarons takes the lead on this, and Kubert is the artist. Alright. So how does this end? If you haven't... Alright. I'm going to give my thoughts already, overall thoughts on this event so far. I enjoyed the event. If I was to give an overall rating, maybe I said a 4. I say a 4, maybe 3, 3.5, 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5, 4 at least. I did not hate this. I did not hate it. There were just some things about it that I wish they were focused on in this story than just in, other tie-ins. But it's the team versus, Cyclops. And it just gets really dire in this, which I don't want to spoil too much for you, but Cyclops does some things, just like, man. But you just really saw the power of the Phoenix corrupt him. Alright, but there was a couple of developments in this book that showcase what's going to lead into later on in the universe. Alright, so first of all, we've seen Cyclops kind of redeems himself in a sense in this. He takes full responsibility for what happened, all his actions. There's blood on his hands. He said it. He literally said it to Cap. We saw Hope kind of take her destiny in a sense. The rebirth of mutants, like mutants are now being reborn now, like seriously, like you saw the Cuckoos watch in Cerebro, and you see mutants just popping up, boop 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 boop. We saw the return of Nova, not Richard Rider Nova, but Jamie Alexander Nova. There were just a lot of developments in this book. Of course, we saw the kind of the beginning of the formation of next week's book, Uncanny Avengers team. Steve said it to Cap. Steve said it. I'll spoil this for you. Steve said to Cyclops at the end of the book Cyclops is in jail, guys. I'm gonna let you know that right now. He has said he also takes responsibility for some things that he wish. For example, when the Avengers not being there for the Avengers, for the X-Men when they should, all these other things. And he said it himself, that will never happen again. And that's kind of, in a sense, the formation of the young Uncanny Avengers, which is fine. But I did not hate this event. I thought it was fine, not bad at all. But for any Cyclops fan, you may not like this at all. But yeah, I did give Cyclops props because he took responsibility. But he said, like, I'd do it again, and he kind of looks at this as a victory. But Cap kind of puts that down. It's like, don't you dare look at this as a victory. Don't you dare. And it just showed you, like, look, what happened has happened. But it's what Wanda does in this that kind of, it's like, that's about it. But I enjoyed it. Not bad at all. Alright. And last but not least, I picked up issue 1 of the one-shot. It's a one-shot book, but it's the first part of Minimum Carnage Alpha. Colin Von Yost. This kind of is the beginning of the story arc that's going to go through Scarlet Spider and Venom. I've been looking forward to this. And it wasn't that bad. It delivered. Without spoiling too much for you guys, Cassidy has escaped. But what really got me is what Venom, Flash was talking to some of the scientists about why they keep asking, why isn't the Carnage symbiote destroyed? And this is where it really got me really good. I was like, wow, okay. It seems that you can't really kill the Carnage symbiote because, in a sense, because now the Carnage symbiote is nearly melded with Cletus Cassidy's DNA. It is so far into his DNA structure, it'll be hard to just kill it. So in a sense, you got to kill Cletus now to kill it, in a sense. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. But without spoiling too much, Cletus he's not doing this alone. There's some help involved in this. There's some individuals, some players in this that I'll keep nameless right now, but they promised to help him where he can just do all the killing he wants and be joyful and happy about it as well. But we saw both Venom and Kane come in confrontation with Cletus Cassidy, in a sense. Cassidy thought it was SpiderMan when he was fighting Scarlet Spider, but when he saw something that Kane was doing, he was like, wait a minute, you're not the Spider. Claws? That's interesting. It was fun, indeed. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the story arc. Hope it delivers and show this. It's good to see Carnage again, as always. Very good. Very good indeed. All right. So, guys, that is it for this week. I had a fun read as always. Like I said, I hope you guys don't mind that I did another exercise issue edition, but sometimes I'm not always going to be on time to do the reviews. But I'm looking forward to next week, because next week we get the first issue of the first book for the Marvel Now in the form of Uncanny Avengers, which I'm looking forward to. I will be reading, so you will see that review. You'll see, of course, you'll see that review. You also see the miniseries called Avengers vs. X-Men Consequences, which is a miniseries as well. So you'll see those two books in next week's review. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you stayed with me. And I will see you guys next week, as always, God willing. And as always, it's my Vernon Kid saying peace. One love, stay tuned, keep real, guys. As always, shout out to Ronan Reviews. Check out his channel, guys. He's doing some reviews now, so check his channel out as well. As always, the link will be in the description. He's a very cool guy from across the pond. Another friend from across the pond, as I like to say. And other than that, take care.